Should have put it on my hat so that I look really official.
Wipe off this camera. See if that helps. No. I'm gonna go find the chat. Press and hold it in until it comes on. Getting the chat set up and the mics and stuff real fast. Looks fuzzy.
It's probably the lighting.
I'm gonna wait till some people get in here before I actually start explaining things. That way I don't have to go back and explain it. Got 5 people. What's up, Project Pine Hills? I'm gonna try wiping this camera off one more time. It looks like I got a bunch of fuzz. There's vegan cookies good. Can y'all hear us? I just turned on the mic, so they might have just came on. What? What's up, Wyatt the pilot?
They didn't know I was over here.
You made it. Since you're here early, I won't do any giveaways. Can you all hear me fine? And then let me know if you can loud and clear what it said. Now you say something, see if you can hear.
I'm here too.
See if you can hear miss maintenance as well. So I'm actually working today. For one, I'm too busy to do what this job during the work week. I just didn't have time to do it. And the rain's been crazy. What's up, King Hog? Also let's see, 5 Ghost Shadow, I think it is. I mean, let me look and see what I got here. Yeah, 5 Ghost Shadow. Hard for me to read it off that screen. What's up, Edwin? Glad to make a live stream for the first time, he said. So this is for a business. They needed some shelves for some filing. And it's one of those jobs where, you know, I'm building it pretty crude. I mean, it's still going to be really functional. It's going to be better. I'm going to show you my example of what they wanted me to build something like. But this is one of those jobs where you got to build it in a way because it's really too pricey to build. Like if I was going to build shelves at my house or something, you know, I wouldn't build them like this maybe. But it's just going to be holding file folders. You can probably see a lot of them over there. So that's all that this is going to end up being. I'll walk you around real fast and kind of give you an idea. I'm going to swap you around what the example is that we're going with. Oh, I always forget to take my little screen thing off. And we just got the Wi-Fi password, so that's why we're just now going live, so that I didn't have anything before. So we've already got it started. Pretty much just need to finish it up. So it's going to be 2 rows of shelves to hold these kind of file folders. And it's just OSB sheathing and 2x4 framing. I'll show you, here's my example of what we were going for. This is the ones they wanted them built like. So these were not built by me. So this is what we're going for. But as you can see on theirs, you know, they've got some drywall screws with the head sticking out pretty far. Also, you know, it's just doesn't look good here. I'm going to show you, I'm going to do something different with that. And more than anything, the biggest thing, and again, I'm not saying that they're atrocious or anything. They're holding the file folders just fine. But if we go down here to this end, and maybe you'll be able to visualize it if I come back a little farther. I think that one's got a little bit of a lean to it. You can see that there. And there's really nothing I can shake and move these. They're kind of coming apart. There's no real middle bracing in there. So basically in mine, I added some diagonals on the inside of the shelves coming both ways. That's going to stiffen it up a lot as far as that way. And then this way, I'm going to be putting in some boards from here to here, here to here. That's going to kind of strengthen this. But then if I have to, when it's all said and done, I'm just going to put some X's out here on the outside. But ultimately, again, these don't have it. You can see what I can do with these. Maybe you can. I'm not sure if you can or not, but Michael Jackson shelves. Why are they called Michael Jackson shelves? White. Oop, now I got to swap your background. I got you staring at the wall. So I'm going to put you like this. I'm going to check the chat periodically. you guys got any questions or anything, you can let me know. Kind of the same way I did the Beaver deals. I don't think there's really a better place for me to put you. You can at least see everything here. Oh, the lean on the shells. That's why they're Michael Jacksons. Yeah. So basically, I already had to pre-cut. I pre-cut all the OSB sheathing at home. I took it home and put it on the track saw. So again, just so you know too, one reason why I'm building this way is because we are on the 3rd floor. It's up in like the attic of a commercial building, and this is just their file storage. So I had to come upstairs, do a 90, go down a hallway, do a 90, come up some stairs, do a 90, go down a hallway, do a 90, come up some stairs. So ideally, I would have liked to got some longer boards to use for the diagonals and kind of go, and I was going to make an X and all that kind of stuff. But it just didn't work out to where I couldn't get longer stuff up here. But it's going to be fine. Like this way, I'm real happy with it, just with what I got. I could even come in here and probably put something here up into this and make some X's. But I don't really feel like I need to. I don't think it's necessary. What's up, TPG? Yeah, we've got power. I got rain last night. It's still raining today, but it's not like a downpour or anything. Yesterday afternoon and last night was probably the most for us, but we don't have it too bad. I know there's a lot of people out there without power and all that kind of stuff. So basically, just framing, coming up shelves. Now I'll just be measuring up and putting stuff in. It should be pretty quick, pretty easy. And then I'm going to deal with trying to figure out what I want to do to make this go away. Using I don't know if you'll ever be able to see me do it. Another reason why I've got the tools that I've got up here and I'm working with. So I brought up my Festool vacuum. I've got a hose and I've got it hooked up to the dust collection on the M12 5 3/8 circular saw. So I've already made like 4 or 5 cuts. There's really no sawdust showing up over here. It works fairly well. But again, it's because I'm on the 3rd floor. I'm trying to do it with as little amount of tools that I had to pack up here as possible. I already had to pack up all these 2x4s and OSB sheathing and all that stuff. So it's pretty much going to be an M12 circular saw, M18 surge party, and then also a Metabo crown stapler to put that OSB on. And once we get going too, she can grab the camera and kind of follow me around. Wyatt the Pilot, I got that too. I got that not too long ago. It's perfect 2x cutter. Yeah, I love that new M12 one's good. And the lighting's not great up here, probably. It looks like it's a little dark as far as seeing me. But again, I didn't want to pack a bunch of stuff up here.
You get these set where you want them, and then I'll staple them off.
And now that I didn't level up the first one. The floor's not too bad, but now that I've got the 2nd layer, I can pretty much measure up. And I've been hooking up my 3-plane laser, and I lasered out that. I went ahead and lasered and put the top on so that it would kind of stiffen up everything. And then now it's just measuring up to my marks, going around making some marks real fast, sticking 2x4s in, and then putting OSB on. So I'm going to come up 14. Was it what we decided? Oh, it's 13.5 off of that OSB. 13.5.
Oh, I thought you were going to do the 12 inches here.
That should be set. I mean, we can't really move it. Maybe a little, but not much. Yeah, that's fine. Double check it and see. Yeah, you're good. Now that we got the top in, nothing's going to change. Hopefully the tools aren't crazy loud with the microphones. I don't know how that works out or not. It didn't seem like on the Beaver deal it was all that bad.
This one's doing that same thing.
Yeah, I'll pull it up. Let me go ahead and go around and mark all these. So how many of y'all were affected by the hurricane real awful bad? Didn't seem like the way people talked. Maybe it was certain parts of Florida. Seemed like Georgia was getting it the most. I don't know.
Yeah, I think Atlanta had a lot of flooding.
So I don't know if any of y'all are in Georgia, Florida, or any of those areas. I don't know where you all live, how bad it got. My mom kind of lives in the middle of Florida, and she just said they didn't get near as bad as what they were saying they were going to get. And they're like, y'all got questions or anything, just ask away, and I'll check every so often. We got to get this done so we can go see grandbaby maintenance.
Yeah.
But I was saying I didn't want to. I didn't do this during my work week because I'm scheduled out like crazy, and they were really needing this done. So that's the only time I kind of work on Saturdays, and they're a place that I like to work for. And it's an occupied office, and carrying all this stuff up 3 flights of stairs and then being up here making noise, I don't mind doing it. For certain customers, it shouldn't be but a couple hours worth of work. Especially since I kind of pre-cut everything to make it easier.
Especially since you have such a good helper.
Yeah, that too.
Well, he offered to let me stay home, but
she can't be without me.
I don't think that this would have been near as easy, especially the very beginning, which you guys didn't see, but getting it all leveled up and ready to go didn't seem like a one-person job to me. So I wasn't going to make him do it alone.
I'll tell you what I'm going to do. What I'm going to do next, instead of what I just did, is I'm going to cut me a 13.5-inch 2x4 because I should have some extra. That's what I should have done on this one instead of spending all this time walking around and measuring this out. And then we'll just set them in there. Let's see. Just got the new Milwaukee 25-foot wide blade magnetic tape white shed. Love it so much. Cordless brad nailer. I mean, if you are in the Milwaukee stuff white, which you got a, pretty sure he uses the Milwaukee 3-pane, whoever asked. This one, I just brought up my little Sigmund, just because this one, I got my Bosch down there in my truck in a pack out case, but I wasn't going to set up a tripod. I mean, I got very little room up here, and this one I've just been clamping onto those existing shelves and using it. By far my favorite one of the bunch of the ones I've tried that they sent me off Amazon, just because of the size of it. It's so small. But I've got a Bosch 3-plane is what I've got. I've had it for a long time. I haven't bought a Milwaukee one yet because my Bosch is still working out great for me. It's the Bosch 12-volt. HVAC guy in Albany got off pretty light. Oh, TPG's talking about the storm. Green laser. Yeah, definitely get a green laser if you're in the market for a laser. Get green and spend the extra money. And in all honesty, get yourself a 3-plane laser. And even if if the difference of price between a Milwaukee Crossline and a Sigmund 3-plane, if the Sigmund 3-plane is cheaper, buy the Sigmund 3-plane, because 3-plane's what you're going to end up wanting anyways, or a 4-plane. I've got a Hoopar 4-plane. Edward Pitkin said East Tennessee's been destroyed. They had a dam fell and took out most of Newport, Tennessee. It stinks. That's where his nephew lives. So I hadn't watched the news or anything.
I think flooding's the big issue.
Yeah, the dam felling's a big deal. TPG likes the magnetic tape. Hartford was pretty much swept away. What's up, Mac? What's it like having a wife willing to help? LOL. Yeah, she's always willing to work with me whenever I'm doing stuff. And if I'll ask, even the times where she doesn't like offer, if I ask, she always would. Update: when my wife hit one of those protective poles at a drive-through, I bought the new M12 3-inch orbital sander because I could fix it, and she was in another accident and the car was totaled before you could fix it. She asked if I was going to return it. I politely declined. No, you deserve that tool if you had to total out a car. Let's see. I have a 4-point Hoopar video coming out today, Project Pine Hills. That's a good laser. I've got one. I don't know if I've got the same one as you. They sent it to me too, so it's probably the same one. That's a really good laser. And the attachments that Hoopar gives you, like the accessories, they're pretty good. Like a lot of times that's the thing with the cheap ones. As far as the lasers, they're great. It's the accessories that they give you that's just not all that great. So I guess we're moving on to some 2x4s.
You're going to need to pull this one out. Like, put a screw in it and pull it out.
I got to get some more screws, actually. Running my Stratos. Oh, I turned on that laser. Running my Stratos vest with that Diamondback pouch and a Holstery Joey pouch. I really like this vest so far. It's been great. I don't know what I did with my hammer, but
it's down there on the end of the shelf.
Get it with this. Right there.
It's still just a little here too. I think that 2x4's got a bow in it.
Well, we're on 2x4 duty now, I guess. Oh, I didn't mark this one.
I don't know if I need a mic. All they're going to do is listen to me complain about how hot it is up here. I don't think the air's on up here.
Better than the garage, isn't it?
It's better than the garage, yes.
Let's go inside. This wood's been pretty depressing, in all honesty. Like all these 2x4s have been pretty bad. Or splitting and.
This is what they build all the new construction houses out of. This stuff's terrible.
Wearing my Klein knee pads under my pants. They've been pretty nice.
I don't need knee pads. I'm not a sissy.
Well, they'll get on to you about not wearing them. Other than the waste of plywood, I wish I'd have built these 1 inch wider.
Oh yeah,
My
just to be
surge
able to
barely
get your.
fits in here. I'm trying to get all the screws put on the inside, and then I'm gonna go around the outside at the very end and just put some 3-inch ones through the front. But that way they're not looking at drywall screws like they were over there. I got it.
You got this mark to move on down.
So,
Probably another screw.
I know I'm not going to have the racking like what they've got on that other one. I just got to figure out what I'm going to do for the left and right. Other than putting the X's out here on the outside, there ain't a lot I can do without getting in the way of their files. Like if I go start putting stuff inside of here, it's going to make it to where they can't store as much stuff. So, like I said, I can guarantee you that this one's going to be better than the other one. And it's like I was saying at the beginning, this is one of those jobs where, you can't price it in a way to actually like do it like and make it work exactly with really nice materials and all that. I mean, nobody's going to pay that kind of money to store file folders on stuff. They just wanted something cheap.
I was trying to read these comments so that you could.
Project Pine Hill said it is the same laser. You'll like it. If you're doing a review, you've already done a review for it. I thought it was a pretty good laser. Just ordered the 3 set of small, standard, and large regular bit holders. They're on sale for $15 on Amazon. They're really handy in my opinion. Don't use a whole lot of different bits, so the bit holder I screwed onto my surge should be sufficient. Yeah, 9 times out of 10, as far as driving on my impact, it's usually almost always Phillips number 2 or T25. Every now and then I'll run into some square number 2, but 9 times out of 10, it's Phillips 2 and T25. T20 sometimes. Get Mrs. Maintenance a fan. The new M12 is on a hackable BOGO. Buy one, get one. Ends up being $55.
We have a million fans. He just doesn't.
I've got the
hack 'em.
M12 fan at home. Actually, it's normally in my truck, but I took it out of my truck to make room for all this stuff. 27-in-1 Milwaukee multi-bit. Has most of his bits, so it's just an extra layer of efficiency. Can't decide to get the M12 fan or radio. I've got both of them. Matter of fact, I've got the radio up here, which the battery died in it. Plus, I would have had to turn it off, to do this live anyways.
Yeah, we were listening to some good 80s music this morning, and then the battery died.
This is my favorite radio just because of the lack of space that it takes up in my truck. And I can't work at places where I can just boom music. Like right now, I'm working on the 3rd floor of an office. I could today because it's Saturday and they're not working here. But if I was during my work week, if I was doing this Monday through Friday, I'm not going to be able to just jam up here if I wanted to. So it doesn't do me any good to have a huge like pack out radio or something like that anyways. Do want a battery fan, TPG said. We'll most likely get the robe. We want to do the number of batteries we have. Yeah, I think a fan's probably a fan. If you've got batteries in whatever platform, I'm sure it's all the same. Let's see, get this one in, I guess. I'll just go. Just push it tight and I'll hit it.
Yeah, I got it.
I'm going to put some, theirs was open. Let's see if you can see down here. They just had these 2x4 sticking out over there and it was open. I'm going to put some, I bought some 3/4 1x5s so that I can put it in here. That's why I've got a little space, which y'all probably can't see, I'm sure, but I'm going to put that in here. And then that way it can overlap over top of the sheathing too and just look better. But that should help stiffen it some too. So I'm going to do that first. And then if it's still got some move to it, I'm going to put the X's on. But I'm not going to put the X's on unless I have to. Like I said, and it will actually help them once they put files and stuff on it too and get some weight on it. I brought my clamps up here to be able to clamp these to hold them.
Do you have the other side marked off? You have that side marked off?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to cut some blocks at 13 1/2 so that I don't have to mark them. We'll just set them in there and put the 2 bars on top of them on the next row. I forgot that we didn't need to do it after I leveled up that second one. I was thinking I still need to run the laser on it. So I got to get that in down there. Towards you. Jump 2x4s.
Project Pine Hill said, everybody hit the like button. It's the least they could do, us having to work on Saturday.
This needed to be pushed over. You staple that. It is what it is now.
Well, it's better than it being out too far, the rough side being out. At least nobody's clothes are going to get caught on it.
Like it?
Yep. Did you say vegan was in here?
He was at the beginning. He still is.
I figured he'd be asking us what our lunch plans were. There's not a lot of lunch options down here because it's downtown. It's mostly all like a business district and not a lot of food and shopping or anything like that.
get this next board in. Come check the chat. Let Miss Maintenance do her thing with the OSB. She likes running the staple gun, apparently.
Yeah. It's one of the power tools you'll let me use. He doesn't really let me use a saw much at all.
You like it?
Yep.
Piece of junk. Half these 2x4s already got a split in the end, even before we did anything. All they had. That's the one thing I do prefer at Lowe's more than Home Depot. Their 2x4 like premium studs are a little bit better studs than what Home Depot's are.
But I don't think any of them are very good anymore. Anyway.
Oh, let's see what I did with the phone. See, I'm on a PC, can't hit the like without doing anything else. I'm on a computer right now, but we'll move to my phone a little bit. Computers are much better for YouTube streaming. Yeah, if you're going to chat, it is. That's why, like, I don't know if I'll get home in time for the guest to trade, but I prefer being on my computer so I can type, because I'm real slow. I'm slow enough typing on a computer, but it's even worse for me on a phone for whatever reason. Plus, I can't do the at somebody from the phone. Like whenever I'm on my computer, I can put at, I can put and it'll pull up like the practical gadgeteer, and I can select him and then whoever I want to talk to. If you're on a smartphone, you have to temporarily exit the live chat to like, he said.
Well, they don't have to go to all that trouble.
Yeah. Let's see.
And what did I do with my stapler?
Yeah, so I took these sheets of OSB home and ripped them on my track saw. One is I didn't want to make all the dust up here, and two is to get them up here, up the 3 flights of stairs.
Yeah, that would have been fun.
All that
if
to
they
come
were
up
full
here.
Sheets.
Full sheet, and then try to cut it up here. Like I said, it's very little room up here.
Oh no, I have my first miss.
You're fired.
Went out the side.
You got 1.5 inches to work with. Not used to working with 1.5 inches, I guess.
I was gonna say, I'm gonna just be nice. You set me up on that one, but I'm gonna.
I was hoping that the Wi-Fi here is going to be good enough. I'm sure it is. This is in the city. So I'm sure it's better than what it is at my house. I'm going to cut some 13.5-inch 2x4s and just stick them in here for the next shelf. That way we can just set the 2x on it and screw it. Don't have to hold it and find the lines, and we'll have to measure around. That means I just have to measure, twice 13.5 inches and cut it. I'll wait and let her hold the camera, and y'all can see the dust collection with the Festool and the Milwaukee. I feel like it's pretty good.
I can take a break if that's what you need to do now to cut something.
You might have to swap from front facing to back facing. So the new M12 saw has this, which you can put the screw in there to actually leave it on there all the time, but I don't leave mine on there because it's very rare I cut inside with it. So, but it snaps on super, super easy. And then my Festool actual attachment, this is the hose that came with mine. I had a little bit of an issue here I had to fix a long time ago, but it actually fits like right in there, like it's meant to be.
I think you were just trying to get more red on that green.
Yeah.
Everybody says how much you love the red.
Yeah. So I'm going to do 13 and a half. Man, that is hooked on there. And I'll do this. Oh, it helped. I keep catching myself because I'm so used to whenever I use this, I've always used it with corded stuff like grinders or whatever. It's got auto here. Festool's vacuums does. And so like if I had auto on and if it was a plug-in saw and I plugged it in there, as soon as I pull the trigger on the saw, the vacuum comes on and it stays on for a little while. But it's also got manual. So like if you're using it like this, you just got to turn it on every time. It must be unplugged or something.
I plugged it back up.
Well, it's not. Must be loose. Yeah, it's loose. I can see it. Probably stepped on it and pulled it again. Take two.
I was getting ready to say, cut.
I mean, it's not bad. I mean, there's obviously going to be some. You're not going to catch everything, but it would be a whole lot, like if it wasn't.
What marking pencil do you use? Wyatt the pilot said.
This one's a Pika 3030. I actually like the Ultra-4s a little bit better, but this one works better up here because the Pika's little. I yell like I don't have a microphone on all the time on these. The Pika has this grip on this is a little bit better than the grip on the Ultra-4s. So sometimes the Ultra-4s, the whole holster comes out here, not my bags or anything. I like the actual flatness of the Ultra-4s better. That's why I keep it on that bag, but I'm not using it. And then I normally carry the pintail. I don't put a pintail in this bag because I'm normally using this on like rough framing like this. So I've got some cheaper ones. I use the pintail whenever I'm doing trim work and stuff like that. But 9 times out of 10, it's always a 2mm lead. There's all sorts of pencils out there. I like the Pikas for the price. They're probably the best because they're cheaper than the Ultra-4s.
Battery. I meant vacuum. I said battery, but you knew what I meant.
Yeah.
So you got it.
So now we'll just stand these in here as we put the tube out.
Oh, okay.
But you need to staple this down though.
Yeah, I need to finish stapling.
You can fit the stapler in there easier.
Here, you take this. Go set them back up over there.
Normally I would have probably, which actually I don't have to, the way this is set up, it's 16 foot long. So it's really like 16 foot and an inch and a half because of how I set this back so that I can put this 3/4 board in there just to make it look better and to stiffen it up some as far as this way. So I haven't had to really cut. The only things I've had to cut were my diagonal bracing. I had to cut that on 45s. And then I'll have to cut these tops off. These will get cut off once I'm going to shoot my laser level up there or measure up probably with whatever. I'll cut a block. I didn't want to cut them off until I knew what I was getting into. And plus it gave me more room to screw some of these. These are temporary right here. I was wanting to screw up into here, so I wasn't putting screw holes in the board. So I'm going to be leaving them. Again, not that any of that matters with what this is. It's just file storage, so it's not that big a deal. I think they're going to be pleased with whatever I do based on if they were okay with that. Anyone taking advantage of Harbor Freight 1 day 40% off Daytona Jacks coupon today? I think my jack is Pittsburgh, but man, I love it. I bought that last year. They had like some kind of sale going on, probably similar to that. And I've always had just a cheap little jack. Never had bought like one of those bigger floor jacks that are like the speed kind or whatever. And man, it's night and day. I got to where I've never really needed a big jack, even on my truck. But now, whenever I was lifting up the back of my truck to do something, or maybe I was working on.
Was it when
I was
you
changing
changed
my
out that rear differential?
I think I was changing out my brake pads or something like that. And now that I've got my deck drawers full of all my stuff and all those tools and stuff in there, I guess the back of my truck weighs a whole lot more. So I had to end up getting like a bigger, heavier duty floor jack. Normally, I've always just lifted up one tire at a time, but it was a little wonky. I didn't like it, so I ended up buying me 2 of those jack stands and then a bigger floor jack.
Okay, this whole side's done.
Staple sticking up there too.
That's done.
I want you to get my hammer. You got a staple halfway up. Failing on your stapling again.
I think, is it over there in that corner?
Fire you.
It's where I had to go in at an angle.
Yeah, that's what I'd say too.
You can't fire me.
This seems like it's.
What is going on with this?
Maybe I need it's 13 and a half to the top. I'm gonna have to cut these again.
Okay, well.
So I need to take 3.5 inches off these. I'm like,
first,
that's way too tall.
First, this is something's. This ain't right. That can't be right. Look at this. Either this one's up too high or this one's down too low. See that?
Well, I'll tell you real fast. That one's down too low. Let me stick it back here. Yeah, that one's good.
I wonder how.
Well, some you did.
I didn't put that in.
You were
but it's on the line right there.
You
Look.
were holding this one, I remember.
So it must be.
Well, maybe I measured up before. That's what it is. I measured up before you put this piece on here. We may not have had this piece on here, and I measured 13. It's a ½ inch short.
So it is your fault.
No, you didn't.
Because you measured it wrong.
You didn't have the piece on here. If you'd had the piece on here, that's your job.
That's about the difference.
I'm not going to pay you with what I promised if you keep it up.
What? You're going to take me to lunch and to see the grandbaby. How thick is this OSB?
7/16.
That's probably exactly what it was off. It's a good thing I'm here to catch all your mistakes.
It was 13.5 inches to my line to put the top of the 2x4 on, so I got to cut 3.5 inches off the top. Working with someone so beautiful is making me mess up.
Oh, yeah. Between the two of us, we have one good brain.
Mo better.
Yeah. I was like, something is off here.
Wyatt the pilot bugging me with all his questions, making me.
Oh.
Now what do I do with how do I have 6 tape measures?
Right here.
I got one. I got it.
That's part of my job working with you. At least half the time is just finding your stuff for you. Where did I put that tape measure? Where did I leave that level? I just had that.
Goober.
Out of staples again.
This Metabo stapler that I picked up at Lowe's for, let's see,
I didn't have any trouble getting the last ones in.
$149 with a battery. It's been pretty good. Only thing I don't like about it is the tip. It doesn't give you kind of any kind of indication so much of where you're exactly. I mean, it's pretty hard to not know where you're putting it, but it doesn't you don't have a little tip on it of any kind. So that there should be 13.5 plus 3.5 be 17.
I feel like the R&R building people, and I'm Greg. He's the helper. What's the main guy's name? I should know that, but Kyle, yeah. He's always talking to Greg, so I remembered his name.
I gotta mark all these in 7/8 before I get too far into this.
I'd like to get R&R out there to our house. Build us a big old pole barn.
Mark these while I got this.
Is this the last?
Here I'm just marking in the edge where I'm setting my 2x4s, just because I'm going to be putting 3/4 board in between here to fill in this gap and to cover this edge, and that should help stiffen it some. It ain't gonna be the same as a diagonal brace, but we'll see what it does when it's all said and done. Which these pretty much should come out wherever. It wouldn't matter if I mark these or not. They're gonna be where they're gonna be.
Wyatt the pilot, I need some socket wrenches along with jacks. I don't have any, neither does my dad, unfortunately.
Socket wrenches. There's all sorts of pretty good ones out there. I bought the Milwaukee ones come deal of the day, and they're really good price when you get them for that. If they're on the deals, they're kind of expensive if they're not on a deal. So that's going to put me at 13.5. And then the top one, we were giving ourselves a little bit more. So that should be good.
Mac's going to make lunch for his boys, but he'll be back.
All right. Pretty much anytime if I'm doing something like this, if y'all are available, if I get on here, there's nobody that's available to chat. I understand we all have lives on Saturday. I always like chatting back and forth with you guys. It gives us more people to talk to.
TPG said my wife having her own tools means neither of us can blame the other one when something goes missing.
You mean she never borrows one of your tools and you never borrow one of hers?
Well, I think we go bankrupt.
Don't touch my stuff.
If I had the same amount of tools that you had, we probably couldn't afford that. So
the next row, getting the staples in, is going to be a little bit tight. So we might have to go get my little info brad nailer. Should come my way here. But I wanted to put the top on to kind of make sure I had everything plumb and get it all stiffened up.
Yeah, it made a pretty big difference when just that bottom shelf was the only thing on, and it was swaying pretty good. I almost picked up this one, and I was like, something's off about this one. It's when you cut. That wouldn't be good. Yeah, you'll have to flip that one this way.
Start here, Mark. Put up my mark. Tight fit.
Toss me one of your 13.5-foot things, or you can go ahead and screw that in first.
I don't know what I did with that one.
Did you put it in the floor over there when you got done with it?
No.
Huh. I don't know where in the world it went. You were using it on that corner.
All right,
over
guys.
there.
You guys comment where did I stick that other 13?
Is it on the shelf below or above? No. I don't know where you put it. Huh. Oh, you know what? Is that the one you handed me?
Yeah.
Oh, well, hold on. I thought it was a scrap piece. I got it. I put it over here out of the way.
Slipping. Tight.
I put it in the scrap pile. Elliot Parrish said, "Unexpected live. I'm here for it. The couple that maintenances together stays together."
We're the apartment maintenance couple today. They said they've been working together for I don't remember how many years.
He said 20. They had been together for 20 years and married for 18 years. I don't know how long they've been working together. That shelving is a big improvement over the old shelving. Yeah, that's true.
That's what I said. Whenever I looked at it, I was like, well, it doesn't matter what I do. I don't have to worry about not meeting the expectations.
TPG said him and his wife enjoy working together on projects.
I did go ahead and pick up the hammer holster. Matt HMM taught me into the hammer holster. I was going to get the flat bar holster for my, let's see if I can get it in the picture, I guess. The Diamondback, I got that Mazo. Well, back on the back side, you can put a flat bar holster or a hammer holster, but the flat bar one's pretty much the same length. It just has a closed in on it down here. So I thought, well, I'm going to go ahead and buy the hammer because there's going to be some times where I might want to put my hammer in there. And if I want to carry a flat bar, which personally it's tight enough, I don't think it matters anyways, I'll find something and just crimp that in close with something and then not have to worry about it. But yeah, I went ahead and bought that.
Look, while we're doing show and tell, look at that. That's junk.
Yeah, just gotta put it on the inside.
Well, I'm not going to put it anywhere right now because I think you have
Yeah,
extra,
I know.
and I'm not even going to mess with that. It looks like a dog chewed the end of it off.
I've got extra 2x4s because I was going to put a 2x4 in the middle of these and raise it up some and kind of give it like a lip so that when they push those files in there, they kind of would have a stop. And I may go back and cut some and put some in, but I'll just have to cut 45s where those diagonals are and slide them in there. But I don't think they, based on, I don't think they need them. They don't have them on any of the other ones. So I may end up with some extra 2x4s. This was I just bought a bunch of stuff. I gave myself a rough idea. I knew how much plywood and stuff for sure I was going to need, but I just mostly got extra 2x4s because I didn't want to have to go to the store to get something in the middle of doing this.
And we had so much fun.
It's pretty far away.
We had so much fun packing all of these up the stairs that you thought we could have more fun if we had extras to pack them back down the stairs and then go return them. So
we'll just build them an extra little shelf somewhere. I wasn't going to come up 1 2x4 short. At the time I bought the stuff and brought it up here, I still hadn't worked it out in my head exactly what I was going to do. That's which a lot of times, like I said, this wasn't like I looked at it, decided how I was going to roughly do it just to get an idea to give them a price. And then the last couple of days I went over it in my head and changed how I was going to do it about 4 different times.
Yeah, he does that around 3 a.m. He wakes up and goes over any project he's got going on and thinks about a million different ways to do it and what's the best way to do it. And
I was back and forth if I needed to put middle braces in these because they're 8 foot long. As far as the shelves, it's 16 foot total. I didn't know if I needed to put something in here, but then with me putting that diagonal in there, I was kind of okay with not doing that as well. And plus, it's only like a 12-inch span with that OSB 1/2 inch on top of it. And again, by the time they're at least distributed in weight pretty evenly with file folders, even though that's a lot of weight when it's all said and done. But it's like it's not like you're putting this 50-pound item right in the middle of the shelf and then a little bit amount of weight on the other sides, those kinds of things. It's an even weight no matter how they do it. Don't throw it away.
Well, now that I know what it is, when you handed it to me randomly, I was like, oh, it's a scrap piece of wood.
I didn't know if there was any normal YouTube people that put out stuff on Saturdays, which I watch the awesome framers usually has something on Saturdays, but he's out in, like Washington State and all that stuff. So I'm sure he's not affected by it. I didn't know if any of the other people, which most of those guys I'm sure probably got videos ahead of time. They're better than me, have a big backlog of stuff. So it might not actually affect them right now. Getting something out, but
Oh, is that the last of the?
I was going to put other cross in there, but I don't think I'm going to. Now that we've already got everything else in there, it wouldn't make any difference in the stiffness. It's just more for looks.
4 more sheets of this.
Now we'll have to see if you can get in there with the crown stapler. If not, I'll go down there and get my M12 brad nailer. I'll just put them in with brads.
Try it out. Ooh, look at all this black stuff. I don't like that.
Well, that side's not. So that's not. I just haven't. As long as it's not
Look
the
at-
red. Yeah, the red
Ugh.
stuff comes off real bad too. That's why I was just making sure I didn't put any of that red on the outside.
Yeah. I'd put that back there.
And they wanted. Actually, that's not the rough side.
Oh.
You've been paying attention to that.
Yeah. I mean, I thought we'd been doing all the rough side.
And they wanted the rough side up. They said so to help catch the file folders.
Oh yeah, see the rough side has these lines running this way. It's that other side has the words on it, so that's why that's the first time I got a big old bunch of black from those words.
I think if you go in it, I don't think you'll be able to get in the back, but the front we can get.
There's 2 pieces out of all these that you cut that are flipped, not rough side up for whatever reason. So I guess that's your fault.
Well, I didn't bring them up here rough side up.
No, but I'd been spoiled. All of them had been that way as soon as I picked them up, except for 2. This one here is the second one that it'll have to be flipped.
So I'm not going to be able to get,
Yeah.
because I put the top on first, just kind of sturdy it all up. Now I can't get into the back. Well, I can. I think if I run it down through there, I think I can. If not, I was going to go get my M12 brad nailers and just put brad nails in the back. I'm trying not to put screws because this OSB, when you put a screw in, it puckers up a lot, and then moving them file folders in and out, I think it would cause them more issues than helping them. Yeah, I think if I get up in here, yeah, I can get it. I know I'm glad I bought this crown stapler now. This works really good for this. It's much better than having a brad nail holding it too.
Last piece of this, and I only got 1 splinter the whole time. Which they'll tell me I should have been wearing gloves, I guess. Wyatt the pilot said, "Awesome Framers isn't better than you. You're unique. It's why we love you."
He's a pretty smart dude. That's like Jamie Perkins is a pretty smart dude on the Perkins brother. I like the Perkins brothers just because I like watching all of them, like their personalities. Ray and them.
Project Pine Hills, he said there's no such thing as a normal YouTuber, LOL. Tony said Morgan's kicking it old school, LOL. I hope all my files are backed up to the cloud. Yeah, well, he said a lot of paper.
Yeah, that's what.
Hope we don't have a fire.
I've tried to tell them that for years. I'm like, I can't believe that y'all aren't on like a cloud drive and like scan this stuff in, and because they're no telling how much money they spend on copy paper and printer ink and.
Oh, Tony, I guess, thought they were your personal files.
No.
And then Wyatt, the pilot, said they're doing new shelves for a company. Tony goes, oh, okay. No, we don't have it.
This is my tax. These are all my tool receipts.
Oh, gosh. I was going to say, we don't have enough paper to fill up all this, but. Can you do a product review on the Firmco? Does that say Firmco? Max knee pads. I see there's not a whole of exposure of that brand on YouTube.
Thermco.
Finto
Max knee pads.
Finto Max knee pads.
I've been
he
running.
Said there's not a whole lot of exposure about that brand.
I've never heard of them, so
yeah.
I use Pro Knees. I bought them a long time ago, and they've held up crazy well. They are super expensive. I think they're like $270 for a pair like I've got. They've got some that are cheaper. Right now, I've just been running these Klein ones under my pants. They work out really well for like this. Now, if I'm doing flooring or something, this wouldn't be enough. Like if I was on my knees on hard floor and stuff like that, I'd want to wear my Pro Knees. But stuff like this, these have been like phenomenal. Like it's a big difference because I'm real bad about, unless I'm specifically doing something where I stay on my knees, I typically don't put them on. And then there's always, I wish I would have by the end of the day.
Do you use a regular impact or hydraulic?
It's the Surge, so it's hydraulic.
When you're in the trades, you need to take care of your body. Why not get the best for your body?
Yep, that's why I bought the Pro Knees a long time ago. I finally bought them. I back and forth on them for a long time. And then after I started using them, I was like, man, I wish I'd have bought these a long time ago because laying floor, it's a big difference.
Yeah, by the time you bought them, you already had, I don't know how many hours worth of laying floor on your knees.
What I should have titled this video is I'm out of room for tool receipt file folders. I'm building more. That's what I should have titled it.
Now there's a way to get the IRS knocking on your door. I'm going to pull all these stickers off the end. Which actually, you said you're going to cover them up, aren't you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, then I'm not going to pull all the stickers off the end. Oh,
it's going to go this way until we do something. This way should be good, though. This way ain't going at all.
Yeah.
So, yeah, just them two diagonal braces in there. And, again, I've got them on the inside, so it's not affecting the – I was actually going to do an X, but it wouldn't make one bit of difference if I did an X or diagonals. So I put these two diagonal braces running down the middle of the shelf. So there's a gap in between the two, so you can kind of see how it goes down through there. And that pretty much solved the, this way. It will not rack that way. This way, I've still got some movement because it's a lot narrower. But I'm going to cut some boards. That's why I left this pushed back some. I got some 1x5s that will cover this and this. So that'll just make it look cleaner out here on the side too. And I noticed they've been putting like Post-it notes with numbers. So maybe they want to put notes on there along with over here. That's why I've got so many extra 2x4s, I was going to, and I don't know, I still can. I planned on sticking like this. Down in each one of those slots as a stop basically for the file folder. So file folders from this side can't go to that side, but I may still do it just to get rid of these 2x4s
But
and not
the
have to
way
back
they're
them down.
built over here, they don't have a
Yeah, they don't.
stop.
Yeah, like if I go back over here, they don't have it on this side.
They just butt up against each
Yeah.
other, basically.
I made my shelves. Their shelves over here are 12 inches to here. I just went ahead and instead of having all these 2x4s and this stuff, I just used one 2x4 in the middle over there, and then just widened this because, and I use thicker. They've got some like really thin OSB of some kind.
It almost looks like Luan or something.
Yeah, so I just use thicker stuff, and then that way let me spread that out a little bit more. And again, you can see down here they don't have any bracing diagonally or anything else. And I guess they got into something. It won't let me zoom out real far, but I'm gonna grab my level real fast just to see. That way you'll kind of get an idea. Oh, no. So I'm gonna get it to level is.
Yeah, that's definitely out.
Yeah, so that would be level right there. So it's at least probably, I'd say 3 inches by the time you get to the bottom of lean. And it's because of, you just got a lot of, I mean, if I pull on this, it's not going to come just because you got so much weight tied into it coming to here. If they hadn't tied these two together, so basically for that to fall, it's going to have to pull every bit of this that way. Not to say it couldn't happen, but that's why it at least went this far. That's why it happened. So just those two diagonal braces in there fixes that. And I could, if I wanted to, cut another one and slide it down in there and make it a X. But again, I don't see that. I think they'd probably rather have that than the X. I'll have to, if I do this, the spots where I'll have to cut 45s on it everywhere where it's meeting in here and just put in little pieces. So I may still do that. I don't know yet. I hadn't decided. Depends on what time it is. By the time I'm 100% done. Let me check I don't know what I did with my chat box.
It's almost time to shake it and say, that ain't going anywhere right there. That's how you know the project's done, when you shake it and say, that ain't going anywhere.
Was warning about those stickers. Great job, Miss Maintenance. Yeah, they're going to get covered up with, I'll just go ahead and cut a piece real fast and stick it in there and show you, which I can take that off now. I got some 1x5 3/4 board. So I basically held that back, and I'll be putting that in there like this, and it'll go flush across, make it look better on the ends. And as I fill that in, it should stiffen that some. Like I said, it's still going to want to go like this unless I put something. And I honestly don't even think if you put X's on it with that wide of a shelf, if it's going to make a crazy difference. But I'll try it and see if it's still extremely wobbly. Come on, go back. It went to landscape and won't fix itself. There we go.
Huh? Oh, the video.
I like that shelf layout you came up with. Way better. This is good. How to build file shelving vid. This is how I built the shelves in the back of my garage. Basically, it's just that they were 2 foot wide. I've got some in my garage tour. Same thing, OSB and 2x4. Back in the day, that was the cheapest way to build it. And then during a certain time period, which it's probably going to hit in the next little bit, as soon as hurricanes and stuff like that hit.
Yeah, that hurricane that came through Houston and tore up everything. Oh, that OSB went
this
crazy.
stuff went from was $5 a sheet to like $60 a sheet at one time. And I was like, I could have went and bought shelving for way cheaper than building them. What's up, Apache? We're doing pretty good, buddy. How about yourself? I don't know where you're at in comparison to the hurricane aftermath. I think I need a room like that for my tool receipts too, Brian said. Yeah, I wish I'd have labeled the video of I ran out of room for tool receipts and just acted like I was in my house or something like that. Yeah, and also, Tony, that's how I roll. I'm 100% in the cloud. I don't print stuff. I mean, everything is on my computer. All my receipts, I scan them in. I do keep the actual paper receipts, but I just shove them in a box for the year. If they want to audit me, they can dig through the box and find them. I'm not going to, get them all neat for them. I've got them on my computer really neat, but I don't have them that way. But all my estimates, I email back and forth or text and all that kind of stuff. And I just keep emails. I print them to PDF and save them in a file folder in the cloud. I do everything on. I don't do any of that paper stuff. So these should all be 12 inches.
That
So
was
I
the
can
plan.
cut a bunch of those at 12.
This one by stuff?
Yeah. And then I'll have to go get my brad nailer. I'm gonna put them on with brad nails. So I don't know if I can move this somewhere better.
Down here, where you can, where
See
your
better.
saw's going to be, like
Yeah.
on these 2 bys facing that way.
Or you can hold it. I guess I can do it.
Which way's the
I'm
camera?
probably making them sick that way. This one. Well, you can see through the screen. What did
Oh, okay. Sorry, we were getting
I'm gonna need
seasick there.
5, 10, 20 of them. 12 inches. Now here is where I wish I'd have brought my miter saw up here or something, and that I could have just set a stop on it and just went to town with this. But again, I didn't want to pack all that stuff. We're on the 3rd floor, and it's not a fun way to get up here to the 3rd floor. Must have pulled out again.
All right, hold on. Plug keeps coming out of the wall.
And then just a second ago, a matter of fact, I'll cut one without the vacuum on it and then let y'all see the amount of dust. I've got it turned off.
All right.
Because just a second ago, I turned on the vacuum, but I didn't have the hose hooked up. And then it was a huge amount of dust compared to, just to show you the difference of.
There. That's got you in the shot.
So I'm going to cut one without it. So, I mean, still not a ton, but if you look at that, you know, if I cut all these and made that much dust on every one, it's going to end up being a lot to clean up.
Well, that's what I was going to say. You said you were cutting how many of them?
I hit one. I move this out of my way.
You need more? Brian Hall said that's a great use for that second gen 5 3/8.
Yeah, it's nice having that vacuum attachment on it. Like I said, the saw performance is a little bit better, but it's all the extra little things they put on it that make it worth getting, in my opinion.
TPG said you might check one cut to make sure they're right before you cut them all.
Doesn't matter now.
I think we're going to call it close enough. So yeah, that's all. Well, I was going to show them all. You're already cleaned it up now. I was going to show them. There wasn't too much of a mess over here from all that cutting. Not bad. Don't you wish you had the Pro Knee on right now?
Yeah, these Klein ones are pretty good.
Yeah, those Klein ones aren't bad for.
Yeah, she's gonna go. So I might have to go get the brad nailer, but my hammer. I'm gonna do my hammer. Is it over there?
Yeah. I was gonna show them what you got going on over here. Now you switch sides on me.
So basically,
oh yeah, that cleans it up a lot.
Instead of having that just being open, this is comes up or something. I have to fix that one. I have to lower that 2x4 or raise this 2x4 up.
It covers all that up, and then it also is. I'm sure it stiffens all that up too.
That's low, I can tell. So I'm gonna raise that one up. I have to take these off and all that stuff too. I ain't gonna get my brad nailer. I gotta go get my brad nailer to put them up. Almost ate it.
Where is it? And I'll go get it.
It's in the truck, and I'll have to get it out. I haven't put some in this side. I can go ahead and get them all hammered in and then go get them. What time is it? Because we got the trade chat to get into in a little bit. I don't know if I'll get done before that.
It's 12:09.
Basically, this here is what it end up looking like down here on this side.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Compared to that, and like I said, once I put all of them in there, that should it's not going to keep it from wanting to go like this. Like there's nothing I can do to it to make it not want to do this, no matter what I do. I can put some X's on there. I might try it, but I still don't think it's going to make a difference. Put X's out here on the outside of this because it's the whole thing's moving. It's not like it's racking. It's just because it's tall. And plus, I'll be cutting these off up in here somewhere, whatever the height of those are over there.
Brian Hall said like a glove.
Yeah, they are pretty tight. They were almost too tight. I thought I was going to be
Hey,
making
that's good though.
thought I was going to be making a fool of myself. Yeah, that one corner down there is a little tall or short. I'm going to bring my sander in here and hit these edges with it too. A little detail sander.
I'm going to set you up over here.
This one's the only one, which I don't think. I think what I'm just going to leave it the full height because they can't put a file over here anyways. Because this is a 1x5, and I've only got like 4 there. But I'm just going to leave that lip on there because they can't put a file folder in here anyway. So. Who needs nails? Oh, this one's a little tight. I don't know if I can get this one in there or not. Let's see. Maybe after I spread it up here some, maybe it'll go. Oh, this whole side is a little bit tight. I don't know if I'll get these in there or not. I might have to shave these.
Maybe it's just that particular one.
Yeah. I just have to take some off those. It's not much, but it's enough. This is a little tight too.
That's what I was saying. Maybe it's that particular board.
No, it's. Oh, well, it could be that too, I guess. Yeah. I thought I tried the other one. Maybe I didn't. Piece hanging chunk.
Yeah, that really makes a big difference just on
Looks.
Yeah.
Pull that down when I nail it. So that's what the end's going to look like.
Now shake it and say that ain't going anywhere.
Well, I don't have a nail, but it still should help some. Yeah, it's definitely. But like I said, I don't think there's any way I could get this without. It really would have to be tied onto something like ceiling, or it's just basically just out. It's no different than this shelf. I can move side to side, and once they put weight on it, that's going to help because it's going to weigh more. It's not going to be as easy to move. But again, here's the end that they had. You can kind of see those two aren't even lined up, flat across versus mine. So it ain't going nowhere. That's right, Plumbing McQuise.
He said this is not his type of work, but it's Morgan, so he'll stay.
Well, I'm going to get off here in a minute because we got to get ready for that. I have to do the guess the trade chat, and I'll have to get off here anyway. So I'll probably still be here while that's going on, but I'll be able to chat because I'll be in Wi-Fi at least. I didn't know how that was going to work out. But you get the idea of what I was doing anyways. It's 12:15. I gotta go down to my truck and get my brad nailer. Always live when I'm working. Well, you're always working, Matt. You're always a working man. normally I've been doing a live on the Saturdays before the guest of trade. So then I was like, well, I'm going to be working today, so I won't be able to. 15 gauge is better. Yeah, I could use this. This is just, I'm only using it right here on that little face stuff right there. So I'm not going to be like, it's not like a structural ordeal.
Oh, that's what I was looking for, those little blocks. Now, what'd you do with your hammer?
Set it up there on the top shelf. I got to fix this one. I can tell it's that corner just by looking. He's going to be tight too. If I get that in, I might fix them off maybe a little longer. Really, really close, but just maybe if I get it spread down here lower. I ain't gonna be able to get that. I have to cut that one a little bit. Something's going on with that one too. I'll have to fix it. That's the one we already messed with.
Oh, I think you're out of the frame there on the camera.
Oh.
I don't think they can see you. I just looked up there. They're gonna think you just ran off and abandoned them.
I'm gonna take an oscillating tool and shave some of that one off. Get y'all in the
Oh, Matt said get her a 1099 form. She's a keeper.
I gotta shave a little bit off of that 2x4.
I don't get a 1099. I work for free. I'm cheap labor. I work for hugs and cuddles and free lunches.
All these, that second 2x4 was a little bit longer for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah. We're blaming it on the lumber.
Well, she wants to go. These 2x were pretty bad. A couple of these I'm gonna do some work on before I nail them off, but I'm just making sure they'll go.
It's like the 1940s all over again. Free labor.
That one I might have to cut. Definitely have to get that one.
No. Where's the other one? Oh.
I think I gotta lower that down some too.
Or you could raise that up.
Well, I'll get it all figured out. There's the gist of it.
I mean, it'll hold files.
I might have to do a little bit of working on a couple of those. Like this one, I can tell by looking at this that this corner is down a little low, so my block must have not been sitting on there right when I used it. So I'll lift this up, and then that'll make that flush out. But there they be.
You want to get up there and see if it'll hold you?
Get in there and lay in there.
Get in there and lay.
There. I guess grab a file folder and make sure they're all going to fit. Moment of truth. Watch none of these folders fit in here. Ah, bada bing, bada boom.
Like a glove. That'll do.
Let me check the chat before I get off here. Again, I'm gonna get off here and go get my brad nailer and then get my phone set up to the right place for the guess the trade chat. But I think y'all get the gist of it. So all I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna cut the tops off. I'm gonna shoot my laser from over there just to make it the same. And then I don't know what I'm gonna do on this yet. I don't know if I'm gonna stick some of these down in here. They don't really need them, I don't guess. It's kind of a waste of material. It'd be something neat to put in there, I guess. They don't have them on any other one where they got, even on this one over here built out of plywood, they don't have stops in between. They just kind of butt the file folders up against each other. So I guess it just depends on if I want to pack 2x4s downstairs or cut them and stick them in here.
Plumbing with Quaz said, "Is this for you personally? Why you got so many files?"
These are all my tool receipts. Plumbing with Quaz. I just ran out of room. So I'm gonna cut these off. I may go back in. I'll have to cut like this on 45 and push it against this and basically lift this up. That's why I've got these here. It's because I brought some up here to do this if I wanted to, and basically stick them down in this slot right here on each shelf. And then that way, if you take a file folder,
it's like a little buffer between the.
Yeah. Somebody come looking for that one later. Gives them a stop so they don't get, but like I said, they don't have it on any of the other ones, so I don't have to put it in there. I didn't tell them I was putting it in there. That was just something that was in my brain. That was actually, I was planning on doing it before I did the diagonal bracing.
Well, you can see how they just yeah, I mean,
they kind of
against each other.
They kind of stop against each other anyway. So it's kind of, in my opinion, it's like I could do it, but then to me, it's a waste of 2x4s. Just to put it in there just for giggles. But if it would actually help with some kind of rigidity or whatever.
That's a good word.
Yeah, that word. I'd go ahead and do it, but it ain't gonna make one bit of difference. I also thought about taking another diagonal and just coming down and tying it into that one just to make it look like an X. But again, by the time you put file folders in here, you don't see any of it. So, but I'm gonna go get my brad nailer out of the truck. Just nail these into that 2x4s just to make sure they stay. I don't think they're going to come out anyways. I had to beat them in there pretty good.
And then we need to do some cleanup.
Yeah.
And then it'll be time for Guess the Trades.
Clean up, get my stuff put up, Guess the Trade chat.
Go visit grandbaby.
And go see grandbaby maintenance. That's the plan. So
that's the plan.
I'm going to check the chat though before I get off here. So file this job is done, Matt said. I think so too. I think that's what I'm going to do.
See what he did there?
Yeah. He's always got
he's good. He's got the dad jokes.
Now I need to grab lunch before Guess the Trades. I'm going to set this up so I'm not so close to it. I'll just go back over here to my normal spot. I don't know. Check the chat before we get out. See if I missed anything. So if I missed a question, hurry up and type it down in here real fast. If in case I missed something.
Where's the hard hats, folks? The Plumbing with Quaz. Where's the hard hats, folks? OSHA has entered the chat.
I'm OSHA's worst nightmare.
Some of the stuff you've done at our own house has been pretty scary.
Building a new internment vamp for Camp Morgan's maintenance. Building one for Camp Morgan's maintenance. Yeah. Egress is what they call it at UPS. Elliot Parrish said about something. I'll probably see that in a minute.
It's plain wrong to blame the lumber. Woodworking joke.
Oh,
Yeah, plain.
Elliot said, "Watch that walkway." Yeah, it is. It's. I think it was like 40 something inches, but oh, here I'll go ahead and actually it looks
It
like
was 43, right? Is that what we measured?
yeah. I don't know if we're frozen. Looks like oh no, it just looked like I wasn't moving.
I want to say it was
I'm gonna go ahead and
43.
I'll go ahead and show you, Elliot, that apparently they don't care about any of that stuff. We, you think that's got the right clearance? So,
Oh, that. Well, I mean, I can get. I don't know if you can get through here, but
well, that you got to have a good amount of clearance in front of breaker panels like that. Like the Diamondback pouch still, Matt asked. Yeah, absolutely do. And I love it. I love this vest too, this Strato. So whenever you get one, I think you're going to like it because it is crazy adjustable. Again, I plan on doing a review for it one day, but like you can adjust the length, which is what I absolutely love. That's the one thing I didn't like about my Saratoga vest was the length of it. But it's just super comfortable. Like you get to where you can't even tell you're wearing anything. I can't unsee that close to a panel. Yeah, I know it. I actually just noticed that just a few minutes ago whenever I didn't even pay any attention to that it was there. But I didn't build my cabinets in front of it. Those are already over there. So I didn't build those. But you got 40, I think it was 43 inches is what I have here. I probably got more over there because I've got 43 between the smaller wall that's kind of a bump out. I probably got close to the 48 inches, maybe, or maybe right over. It's 44.
40. Yeah,
Yeah, so
almost 45.
I centered it kind of in the space. I'm just doing what I'm told on that. Grabbing lunch, TPG said, let me see. I'm going to go back. A vacuum was pretty loud. I'm sure it's not, that vacuum's actually not that loud, but I'm sure with the microphone, I was curious whenever I did that Beaver track, how much the impact inside of a trailer with a microphone, like if it, but whenever I went back and watched it, it wasn't too awful bad. It's plain wrong to blame the lumber. Woodworking joke. Tools with Tim. Really enjoyed seeing the two of you work together. Looks like great fun. Trigger clamp helps straighten things out. Yeah, I've got my Jorgensen ones up here. I brought them up here to actually hold boards in place while I was building it, but then she came with me, so I didn't. She became my Jorgensen clamp for the day. $10.99. Yeah, I remember her saying that. Elliot said he's registered to win one of those Festool vacuums. It's really nice. I mean, it's great. They're really expensive, but really they're not. They were really expensive whenever they were the only one, but now even all the other brands that have that kind of HEPA filter and all that kind of stuff, they're all just as expensive as well, if not more. So it's not too bad.
I was going to run this vacuum over here, but I don't know. I guess it's too
Elliot
loud.
said you need one of those receipt document scanners that makes a digital copy for your records. That's what they need for sure. I was using, if y'all have got a good program for that or app on your phone, but actually the Notepad app, if you're on iPhone, if you go into it and hit take a picture, it's got scan document and it works better to me without any ads. I was using Office Lens and then it kept messing up on me. So I quit using it. So right now I just use the Notepad app, but I just scan my receipt as I get it, send it to my OneDrive, and then that way it's on my computer when I get home. I rename it, put it in the right folder, all those kinds of things like that. And then I just throw all my, like I said, my receipts. I don't organize them like what they've got here at all. I just got one big box for 2024. I throw them in that box, and if they want to audit me, they can dig through that box all they want to. I've got them on a computer, like a whole list of all my receipts, whether it's a business expense or I put it with the job if it's that job expense, those kinds of things. So my computer is in my cloud drive and all that's like crazy organized. Like I know exactly where to go to get to everything. I don't do any of this paper stuff anymore. We're all good. Let's see. I think I'm halfway caught up there. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead. There it just said premieres in 30 minutes. Just popped up on my phone, the guest of trade. That way I can be in that chat. Oop, I just flopped you around on accident. So she's sitting down taking her 15-minute break. I allow her one 15-minute break every 8 hours. That's all she gets working for Morgan's maintenance. So, but we appreciate y'all being in here. It just gave us something to do besides us just up here working. I like talking to you guys, so I know some of you like watching this kind of stuff. Seems crazy to me sometimes, but I watch this stuff, so it doesn't seem that crazy. So, but we're going to go ahead and get off here. I'm going to run down to the truck and start putting some of this stuff up. I'm going to go ahead and carry some stuff down with me now, grab my nailer, come up here, nail these boards off, and then call it a day, cut the tops off and call it a day. So she can do concrete, no breaks, 8 hours straight. Yeah. That's typically what she does.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make her. She's got to make me lunch or something too when we're done here. She's got to.
I'll take him somewhere for lunch.
So. All right, guys. Well, we're gonna see y'all. Hopefully, I'll see you in the chat again. I got Wi-Fi here, so I should be able to be in it. So, see y'all in a little bit. You guys stay safe. Have a blessed day.
We'll see you on the next one.
All right.
Bye.